let's imagine that you are in a position where you have an active listing on the market and it's not selling. Your clients are feeling a little anxious, and you're looking to give an update to your clients. One thing that I always tell agents to start with is to check the demand. So how do you do that? You go into the MLS, and you'll obviously go to your quick search button at the top, and you're going to put in your criteria. That's going to be the first thing you're going to do. So let's just say this listing is in the Long Point subdivision in Mount Pleasant. We're going to put Long Point subdivision, and we're going to then go up to status. I always like to change everything and leave it very vague to start and kind of get a big picture view and then scale through. So right now I've got a listing in Long Point in our example, and I want to see what's actually happening in Long Point. As you can see, we've only got 2 active. I'm more concerned about what's going on in terms of active contingent and pending. So I'm going to highlight both of those. You click on one, hit the shift button on your computer, and use your up arrow, and that will allow you to highlight both. So now I've got statuses as pending and active contingent. I'm going to change my contract ratification date to the past 14 days. So 14 days back. If yours looks like this with a date range, you just click on these arrows and it'll give you days back. So I always think that's easiest. You could change this to months back if you want, years back. So fiddle through that until you get to where you need to be. Now we've got our status as active, contingent, and pending, Long Point subdivision for the past 2 weeks. We can learn quickly that in the past 2 weeks, only 1 property has gone under contract in this neighborhood. This immediately tells me there's not that much activity in the neighborhood. 2 weeks, 1 property going under contract, not such a significant amount of business happening in there. So I can then look at the property that's gone under contract and say, okay, look, there's only been 1. It was listed at 1.050. It went under contract in somewhere around 4 days. And then I can compare that to my listing. I can tell my clients, this is a property that is or is not similar. I can tell my clients the demand in this neighborhood is obviously somewhere around $1 million. But if this is a buyer that would have been considering your property as well, then I would look into a little more. Look at the pictures, see why you may have compared, not compared, all of that, see what the differences are. And then if it's a property that's not even close, let's just say your listing is at $600,000. Well, this is a property that the buyer would not have even considered your property. Therefore, we're not missing out. So because this is a lot of small data here, I'm going to go a little bit further. I'm going to take out the subdivision, and instead I'm going to go area 42, since I know that's the area that the Long Point subdivision is in. And in the past 2 weeks in area 42, past 14 days, active contingent, in all of area 42, I've had 39 properties go under contract. That scope of data is going to be too much information. So let me put some pricing in. And I had mentioned in my example that this is going to be around a $600,000 list price. So maybe I'm going to go $500,000 to $600,000. So between $500,000 and $600,000 in Mount Pleasant, South Mount Pleasant, in the past 2 weeks, we have only had 3 properties go under contract. That's a little bit more data that I can wrap my arms around. That's a $100,000 price swing. Let's say you're listed at $625,000. Maybe we bump this up then to $650,000. From $500,000 to $650,000, we've only had 5 properties go under contract in the past 2 weeks. If we sort this list by price, that tells us that we've got a $520,000, $530,000, and then we have a jump up to $608,000 and then $645,000. We really don't have much movement around that $625,000 price point, which is where we said our, in this example, our house is listed at. We do see a good bit of demand below $550,000. So that's also something to consider. We've got 3 properties under $550,000. That tells me strength in demand at $550,000 and below. Above $600,000, around that $625,000 and $650,000 mark, not too much happening. So then you can use this information, go back to your sellers, consult with them, advise them, use this data to help you, and then make your decisions with your clients, or I should say, allow your clients to make the decision with you and your guidance and your data and your research. If you need help, reach out to me. I'm happy to look at your property specifically. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.